and welcome to Profile Pod TV. I'm your host, Double A, here with the Social Nostra Network. Welcome back for another splendid episode of the podcast, man. Thank you so much for tuning in wherever you're tuning in from. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening on the audio platforms, thank you so much for being here. We got a great show in store for you tonight. And by the way, we are on Pandora podcast now. That's a big deal now. So in partnership with Social Nostra. So if you're an aspiring guest and you want to come on Profile Pod TV and you want to get a high level of exposure, you've come to the right place. We are on Pandora. So we're really excited about that. And we're making big moves here as we move along. So hit me up on Instagram and we'll work something out. Okay. So tonight's show, man, we got a hip hop artist extraordinaire. Okay. This gentleman hails from Oxnard, California, but now residing in San Diego, California. And I'm jealous, man, because I love San Diego. San Diego is God's country. It is a beautiful, beautiful area. It's always beautiful there, man. It doesn't matter what part of the year it is. Wintertime, does winter exist in San Diego?
Oh, it's snowing right now. It's been snowing out here, dog.
Exactly,
It's been snowing. It's crazy.
Yeah. As you can see, we have our guest here. He's ready. He's chomping at the bit, all ready to go. He just released his album 5 months ago. It's called Act 2, and it's his debut album. He is.
It's not my debut. It's not my debut album.
Okay,
that's my 10th album. But thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, okay, and so thank you for clarifying that, my man.
Yep.
And it's available on all streaming platforms now. He has his own podcast. He's the host of the MD podcast. He's done some acting and he's done so much more, and he's here to talk all about it, man. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome for the first time on Profile Pod TV, Mr. Marlon D. What's up, Marlon?
Yo, what's up, man? What up, Double A?
Oh man, what's up, man? Hey, thank you so much for being here. And I'm so excited, man. There's so much to talk about with you, man, because I've been watching all your stuff. There's so much content to go through, man. I can't get to all of it, man. How's your day been, man? Down there in the snow in San Diego?
I'm trying to stay safe and trying to stay alive, bro. That's all we're trying to do in San Diego, man. Trying to stay alive, trying to stay safe, trying to stay working, bro.
Yeah. I feel so sorry for you, but living down there, man. Gosh, it's rough down. Those winters are rough, man. It's like Wisconsin down there, man.
I love San Diego, by the way. Shouts to all my folks in SD tuning in,
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt, man. So you grew up in Oxnard, right? How long were you there in Oxnard?
So I was born in the Philippines, but I didn't come to Oxnard until I was 10 years old. I came to the country in 1995, so I grew up there, but I went to college in Cal State Fullerton. So I moved out when I was 18, went straight to college, Cal State Fullerton, spent 5 years in Orange County. When I graduated, moved back to Oxnard for 1 year. And then in 2010, I ended up moving to San Diego,
Okay. Oh, wow. So 1995, you came to the country, huh?
Yeah.
From the Philippines. Okay. Yeah. Awesome, man. Awesome. So you moved to Oxnard, you came straight to Oxnard from the Philippines?
Yes. Straight to the Ox. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome, man. So man, I really, let's get into the hip hop stuff, man. We'll get back to, your earlier years, man, your formative years. I really want to talk about hip hop with you, man, because I'm a big hip hop head, brother. I grew up listening to hip hop, man. Oh yeah. I love all genres of music, but I love hip hop, man. I grew up in the 80s, bro. I was a kid in the 80s, Beastie Boys, LL Cool J, Grandmaster Flash, Public Enemy, all those guys, man. So for me, and then into the 90s, I just watched hip hop evolve, and I'm a fan of hip hop. How did you get into hip hop, man? How did you start rhyming?
So my cousins, when they came to the US in 1995, my cousins were DJs. So my cousins definitely introduced me to the records, and of course, growing up in Oxnard, California, there was 2 hip hop stations that we can listen to. It's Q104.7, and we can still listen to Power 106 growing up. Mm-hmm. So, MTV, BET, Source, the Source magazine, 1995. I'm fresh from the Philippines, you know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of culture shocked too in the US, but like I've been hearing hip hop in the Philippines, like Tone Loc, Vanilla Ice, Crisscross, House of Pain. Like they were playing that in the Philippines growing up, but till it wasn't until I came to the US when I got introduced to my cousins and they really showed me the culture. And my moms couldn't really afford the turntables, so I had to rely on my imagination to like I had at first I started out like mimicking my favorite rappers like Snoop, The Brat, Corrupt from the Dog Pound.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I started just mimicking them and I started to like copy what they're saying first, like memorizing their songs. And then I would say around fourth grade, fifth grade, I'd be attempting to write my own, but copying their style though. So it's like it started off with me copying my idol styles, but as I got into high school, still getting into like Raucous Records, Most Def, Talib Kweli, Dilated. Like, I feel like my elementary years were spent on like idolizing everything that Death Row Records did. But like sixth, seventh, eighth grade, I started getting into like the other side of things like Wu Tang, Tribe, Redman, Method Man, uh, like Buster, like everything, dog.
Yeah.
I'm 30, I'm 36. I'm from the 90s, man. So anything you can think of, I was on that shit, dog.
Oh yeah, yeah, no doubt, man. So you came in like, I mean, you moved here literally at the height. I mean,
The peak.
arguably the height and the peak of. I mean, you had, like you
Nah,
said, Tupac, Wu Tang, Snoop, Biggie. I mean,
Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, Eminem, Dog Pound, like the Dog Pound. I don't even think people understand like the influence of Corrupt. Man, I can't even. I'm a student of the game, dog. I'm a fan first. Forget all this rap shit, man. I'm a
uh-huh.
fan first, dog. Always gonna be a fan first.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of corrupt, just a little side note there. I was watching something on, I forget what podcast it was in. It was I was scrolling through and I was on IG and he was on with Daz and
Hmm.
they were guests on somebody else's podcast, and they were talking about versus the show versus where they compete,
Yeah,
quote
they want
unquote
to go
compete.
against, go
Yeah,
want
and
to do
they
Method Man.
right. You saw that. Okay, but yeah, they were calling out who was it, Method Man and who
Red and
was it?
Meth, Red and
Red
Meth.
and
They were
Meth.
trying to
Yeah,
call it Red and Meth.
yeah,
I want to
yeah.
see
Those.
that, man. I think it's gonna be a good one, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Those, yeah, Corrupt and Daz, man, the Dog Pound. Those guys are super
Underrated,
underrated, man.
legendary, man. Like, there's no Snoop or Death Row without them too. Like, I opened for the Dog Pound once in 2016 in San Diego, and that was one of the highlights too of my career, man. Just seeing,
Unbelievable,
just seeing
unbelievable.
Corrupt and Das up front, man. I was like, oh my god, the dog food that
Mm,
raised me. Like that album raised me, dog. Dog
yeah.
food.
Don't no doubt, man. And immediately I was like, man, I got to go. I wanted to go on YouTube and just bring up dog food the album and go check it out. But I was sidetracked. But anyways, man. But so the '90s were very influential for you, and as far as hip hop. So when did you actually start? Did you start writing first? Did you start
Yeah,
just emceeing, freestyling? Tell us a little bit about that.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I've been writing rhymes since I was 10 years old, but like as far as like saying it out loud in front of people, I didn't start doing it till freshman year in high school. I was in the hip hop group in high school called Salty Peanuts. It was me. It was me and four of my homies back in high school, and I started with them like throughout the whole high school, all the way to like my freshman year of college. I was in the group, and like started freestyling, battling at lunchtime, or even performing at the high school rallies, performing at the church events or backyard parties all across Oxnard, just like grabbing the mic and freestyling any chance I can in high school, or freestyling in high school lunchtime, lunch rallies, just anytime I can get the mic, I try to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Just a
no doubt.
young, just a young kid though, just
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, no, so were you kind of experimenting with your style at first, or did you know like what kind of MC you wanted to become right off the bat, man? Or were
yeah.
you shy as well? Were you kind of bashful? Or tell us
Yeah.
about those initial stages, man. Were you confident right off the bat?
Shit, I'm still trying to find my style now at 36. Now, just kidding. Nah, but it's a real talk though. Like at 36, I'm still experimenting with different styles. So I think like when I was in my high school years, it was just formative years of like listening to Nas, Eminem, like just listening to that shit, just being influenced by them was like such a big deal. But I felt like as the years went on, I started making my solo albums and solo mixtapes. Um, I started like just defining my own style, not just my style of how I rap, but what I rap about. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
I just started, the more years you put behind this, you're gonna find your voice, but you have to keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? You
yeah,
can't stop. You can't do it every 3-4 years. It doesn't work like that. You have to like it's nonstop. You have to keep doing it. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like if you stop, you're gonna fall off. And if you fall off, you got to do a lot to get back up there again.
absolutely, man. So consistency is the key, right?
Yeah.
Consistency. Yeah, I think in any form of art, man, it's so true in the podcast game as well, man. You're a podcaster. If you don't do a podcast for 2-3 weeks, man, you get left behind. People forget about you and all that. But so yeah, so I think that's important, man. Right? That's always
Yeah.
important. The consistency. So when did you really start to get a grasp on what you wanted to do as an MC, man? When did it really start to click for you?
Well, my first album came out in 2006. I was a third year in college, Cal State Fullerton. Um, I'm not sure what clicked, but I definitely that was my first attempt in dropping solo albums. And ever since, every year since 2006, man, if I didn't drop an album, I dropped a mixtape. So um, I don't know.
Gotcha.
It's still clicking. I'm still learning about myself as an artist, bro. This industry is constantly changing, so I'm constantly trying to adapt, bro. It's not done. You know what I'm saying? Like I've done some work, but I'm not done. You know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah, yeah. You feel like you're still, like you said, you're still learning, you're still honing your craft. It's a never-ending process, I think, right?
Act Two is my 10th album, man. That's album number 10.
Gosh,
Not
man.
not counting the mixtapes. That's not even counting the mixtape. That's just the albums. You know what I'm saying? And so I was 36 when that came out, August 2020. It meant a lot to me to finish it and release it during the pandemic. And I dropped the mixtape every 2 months for the pandemic. Ever since the pandemic started, I dropped a mixtape every 2 months and the album. You know what I'm saying? So
Wow.
I
So you
tried
were,
to really, keep it moving for 2020.
no doubt, no doubt, man. Yeah, you were in the studio a lot, I
I
imagine.
was, man. I spent a lot of time in the lab, got about 100 songs done. The best 20, that's what made Act Two. And the other 80, I scattered it around in different projects for 2020.
Hmm.
And that was my way of like practicing to get back on it again. It's like getting back on the bicycle, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
if you haven't rode it in a while, you gotta get back on that shit. Cause like I would say my ninth album came out 2017. At around 2018, May 2018, I just got sick of the industry and I just started pursuing acting. So
Mhm.
I did theater, I did some indie films, short films, but the whole time I was doing films and the whole time I was doing theater, I was going straight to the studio. I just took a break from doing shows, but as far as the studio, I never stopped going. So um, I'm
And we'll
just a
get into.
workaholic. I'm just a workaholic, man. Just
That's great,
I'm just a
man.
workaholic.
Yeah, we'll get into your acting stuff in a little bit, man. But yeah, I want to talk about Act Two, your 10th
Yeah.
album, right? What so you dropped the album in was it August or October?
August 2020. I dropped it on the day of my birthday, August 6th,
Oh, okay.
2020.
Okay.
I turned 36 the day I dropped it. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So that was pretty cool, man. And was that coincidence or that was
Nah,
purposely?
I wanted to do it like that. I wanted to complete something before I turned 36. I just it meant a lot to me to just finish it during 2022. I'm proud of that moment, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. Yeah, Act Two, man. It's got 20 tracks on there, available now on all the streaming platforms. Yeah, let's talk about Act Two, man. Why did you name it Act Two? What's the significance behind the title?
Yeah, man. It's just number 10, album number 10. It just meant a lot to me. I felt like it's a beginning of a new era, next chapter in my life as an artist. Um, and I was doing acting, so I think the whole theater metaphorical
Mm.
analogies kind of worked out too. And um, Act Two, I also felt like mankind and American society is turning to a different point. It's a turning. We're turning a different corner this year, and I think 2020 shaped the U.S. and the album's dedicated to what Americans are going through, what I'm going through, politically, spiritually, um, and what we're going through, man. Like I could say so much more about the album, but I hope people interpret it the way they interpret it. You know, like I I try to be as honest as much as I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt, man, no doubt. The and that's I think you released the single "Change Is Gonna Come,"
Yeah.
right? So now you, as I hear you describe the album, man, now I see that the song has more. It makes more sense to me why you named it. You know, "Change Is Gonna Come." Why you released it as that was the debut single from the album, right?
Yeah.
Because a change is gonna come. You're right, man. And so let's talk about changes. Let's talk about this single, man. You shot the video. It's on YouTube.
Mhm.
And by the way, I love that video, man. Where'd you guys shoot that scene where there's all you got all the hubcaps behind you, all the rims stacked on top of each other? I
It
love
was
that
in.
scene, man.
Thank you. We shot that in Escondido. Shouts to Ricardo Romero and Jonathan Medell helping me direct and co-direct and just helping me out with the visuals, man. Thank you guys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I posted that video clip on my page, and it got a lot of a great response, man.
For real.
Almost 200 views there, and that's awesome,
Thanks,
man.
guys. Everybody tuning in. I love y'all. Thank you. Seriously. It means a lot, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Got a lot of comments and stuff, man. A lot of good feedback, but I'm sure you're used to that already, brother.
Man, it's humbling. It's humbling every time
No,
someone shows love, man.
it really is, man. I feel you. No, it's when someone appreciates your art, man, it really means a lot, man. And
It's humbling.
no doubt, man. Yeah, and you said it was directed by Ricardo Romero. Shout out. And who produced uh the song?
So it was co-produced by me, my homie Hash Beats. Hash Beats and I, we pretty much did about 9 songs out of the 20, and
Okay.
the other songs from the album was produced by Amber Sequence, DJ Space, Clutch from Oxnard, and I don't want to miss names, but Savage on the beats. Uh, I just don't want to miss names, but it's a collective of just a tight knit, like just I keep my production team nice and small, but everybody's really bringing it, man. Like I don't need a whole lot of production team behind me. Just a few cats, man. Just a few cats. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they've been lacing me for years, bro. They've been lacing me for years. Like, you know what
No,
I'm
no.
saying?
When I hear your album, Marlon, I think like I said, I'm a big hip hop fan, man. I love the beats, I love the production, I love the lyrics, I love everything about it, man. And yeah, it's a really well done album, man. I think if we were in the CD days, that would have been probably a double CD, right? Double CD
Yeah,
release.
20 joints. A lot of
Hmm.
people tell me like, yo, 20 songs too much. People got ADHD, don't put out too much. But I disagree with that, man. I feel like us indie artists, we gotta put out more, man. We got more to prove. We got more to feed out there. We just got more to prove. We need to give them a lot because there's a lot to prove. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, yeah, no doubt, man. I
give
mean,
give them a variety. Give them a variety. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I feel like when people say, "Nah, you just need to drop 12 songs or 11 songs," I also feel like it's a sign of your laziness. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe you just want to drop. I don't know. That's just me. Like maybe you just want to keep dropping 11 songs because that's all you can make. You can only make 11 songs. But I feel like if you have a lot more to say than 11 songs, then fucking make that shit, man. Like, if you got a lot more to say, keep making songs. And that's your album. If you feel like 11 songs gets it across, then 11 songs it is. But if you got more to say, man, anybody out there doing this, yo, young MCs, listen to me. Don't listen to anybody saying you got to drop 10 songs. They're lying. Listen to
mm,
your heart. If you feel like you got to drop 25, drop that shit.
yeah. Yeah, right. No, you're done.
Though,
It's your album. It's you're the creator of your album, of your art. And like you said, man, you do what's in your heart. Do what you need to do to convey your message and if how you see fit. Right, Marlon?
yeah, man, you gotta do what's in your heart, yo.
No doubt, man. No doubt. So with Act Two, man, how long did it take to produce the album, man, from beginning to end?
I was starting to record in 2019, like around the time I can't pinpoint when Nipsey Hussle died, but around the time Nipsey Hussle died, that's when I started, you know. And
Mm.
I finished it around, I would say I finished the album around June 2020. And from June to August, I just planned my marketing promo rollout, and it came out on August 6th. Yeah, man.
Okay. Okay.
So
So a little about
it,
give or take a year, a few maybe give or
uh,
take a few months,
yeah, I
a
don't know
year.
when Nipsey Hussle died, but whenever
Yeah,
he died, like that
gotcha.
weekend, I just there was something about Nipsey Hussle's death that like I don't know, man. It just woke me up. Like it just woke me up, bro. It's too short.
Was that the inspiration for this album? Was that what just sparked you?
Not just Nipsey Hussle's death. I had a couple
Mm,
close homies. I had a close couple homeboys in San Diego that died, and a couple family members that was dying throughout the years. And you know, a lot of people are still dying now. So when you
mm,
listen to the album, I talk about death a lot. Not on the suicide tip, but I just talk about death. I talk about legacy because I feel like
mm,
at the end of the day, dude, when you die, if I die, people all people got is bad memories or good memories.
mm.
And there's
No
gonna
doubt.
be both. There's gonna be both. There's gonna be bad memories of us and good memories, and we gotta even it out a little bit and make it more good, you know?
Yeah, no, yeah. I was about to say, I would like to make it more good, man. More than any,
time
obviously,
time is
yeah,
limited, so you know.
yeah, no doubt, Marlon, no doubt. So, with Act Two, the what are some of the great what's the greatest compliment you've received thus far, as far as from about Act Two, man?
A lot of people really like track one when the album starts out with me in the therapy session. I was surprised how many people was really touched. Like a lot of the homies hit me up about that, and I think I think it spoke to people because I think mental health and sanity means more than ever in 2021, and we
Hmm.
got to take care of our sanity and we got to take care of mental health. To me, man, it's more important than money. You know what I'm saying?
No
It's more
doubt, man.
it's more important than like prestige or status or what job you got or you know like all we got is your mental health, bro.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I mean, if you don't have mental health, and I think everything, it just trickles down from there. It's going to affect and spill over into every area of your life and affect you negatively, man. Probably, more than,
Exactly.
yeah, adversely. And yeah, I think mental wellness, like you said, mental health, more than ever. I took a conscientious effort in focusing on my own mental wellness and doing things, like meditation and affirmations and positive thinking and just really really taking initiative and hitting it hard, harder than ever my whole life, man. I'm 44 years old, and man, am I 44? Yeah, man. You start getting up there, you start like, am I? Yeah, yeah, second guessing yourself. But yeah, more than ever, man. Yeah, I really took initiative and took action. Took action on it, and because with my personally, my I've always kind of battled with negative thoughts and negative self talk and stuff like that. But anyways, but yeah, man, you're right, Marlon. You're right. Now more than ever, that's an important thing. But it's interesting to see that that first track, and it's the opening track. It's the opening song,
Yeah,
right?
when people listen to the opening song, the opening track, it starts out with me in a therapy session with a therapist, and when you listen to it just I think it touched a nerve. It struck a nerve with people, you know, and that's my goal, man. Like I just want to speak the truth, my truth, what really happens to me, what has happened to me, what I've seen, and hopefully people connect, you know. And I can't make everybody like my music, but I'm only focusing on those who do, you know. So
No
I
doubt.
dedicate all my albums to those who do, you know?
Of course, man. Yeah, yeah, exactly. You're not gonna please everybody, right? I think
I can't, man. I tried
no,
doing that. It's impossible, man. I
no
can't.
doubt.
So I'm
Exactly.
only here for those who fuck with me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely, man. So I like Sunny Days, man. That's a good track,
Thank you,
man.
man.
No
Thank
doubt,
you.
man. And talk about the Boom Boom Room. Kind of clarify that because the title of that song for me, evokes a certain thing, and clarify what's that song all about, man.
I'm a big fan of Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. And back in the day, they had a movie called Life. And
Yeah.
remember when you were watching that movie, they had an imaginary club called the Boom Boom. Like Eddie Murphy was making up
Oh.
this imaginary club in his head called the Boom Boom Room. And when I heard the beat, it's a Miles Davis sample, and it just sounds like something from the 50s, from the 40s, 50s, like that swing, you know. And I thought about that scenery in Eddie Murphy's film Life. I just called it the Boom Boom Room because like it had that jazz vibe.
Yeah, yeah. Love that. Love that.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Very cool, man.
every
Yeah, I
now
want to
and then we
listen to that
gotta
right
have. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you. That was produced by Ambush Sequence from Seattle. Somebody from Seattle helping produce like 5 of these songs from the album. So I'm just grateful for the help that I get from people, man.
Absolutely. You said Ambush Sequence?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Shouts to Ambush Sequence. He's somebody that I met on tour while I was on the road in Arizona. And we've been building since for the past 6, 7 years. He's been producing for the last 2, 3 albums. And yeah, man, like that those long time connections. I still got it. And I'm just thankful, bro, that I'm still here alive making music, man. You know?
Yeah, no doubt, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. Making music. I always say, I mean, I love music. I come from a musical family, Marlon. I only played an instrument. I played the trombone for a couple
Good
years,
shit.
but
Good
yeah,
shit.
in fifth and sixth grade, and I always regret quitting. But I grew up as a playing ball. I was an athlete growing up, man. So either you're gonna be an athlete or you're gonna be something else. A scholar, or you're gonna be an artist. So I was the athlete, but yeah. Do you play any instruments?
I do not. I do not play any instruments, man. But I
Beatbox?
did. I can beatbox a little bit. But I was really hands on with the production for this album. I picked out the samples myself. I told the homies to flip it my way. But when it came to me and Hash, we were in the studio in South SD. We were the ones banging it out. I got a chance to like program some of the drums and really pick out the type of snares and kicks I want and where the loop ends, where the loop starts. And I had more say in like the production, just how the I was really hands on with the production, and that's the first. I mean, it's my 10th album, so I'm always used to like picking my own beats. So I
Yeah.
have control in that sense, but I got a little bit more I got a little bit more I'm a perfectionist, bro. Like I just wanted to
Yeah.
be perfect.
No, no. You got to be, man. I think you have to be. And it's interesting. Even when you're a perfectionist, even after everything's done, right? You always look back and you listen to it, or whatever it is. If you're making a CD, if you're producing an album, if you're making a movie, or if you're doing a podcast, you always find nothing, because it's never good enough, right? It's never good enough. The finished product, and you always look back at it and you say, man, I could have done that differently, or why didn't I do this like that, or whatever.
And it's a
Um,
good thing. It
do you come
just
across that?
yeah, bro. Since day one, I'm still like that now. And I just think it shows that you care. I think that means you care about what you put out. And I love paying attention to detail. I mean, you got to pay attention to detail, and that's what makes a classic album. You got to pay attention to detail, man. Like
Yes.
I don't give a fuck how long it's gonna take for us to get the mix right. If the mix is not ready, if the mix is not done, I'm not putting it out. You know what I'm saying? Like it has to sound perfect in my ears until we put it out, before we put it out. And all my engineers know that they get into arguments with me, but it's only because I want the perfect album, you know. But even with that being said, bro, maybe I'll never get it perfect, but that's the key of life. Like I don't think I'll ever make the perfect album, but the thing is, I keep trying, you know, like I keep trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? What makes the perfect album? I'm gonna get there though. You know what I mean?
I think you're. I mean, man,
I'm gonna
it's
get there. I think Act Two's. I love Act Two, by the way.
no
I don't
doubt.
want to
No,
be.
that's go
I don't
ahead,
want to
man.
be too hard on myself. I felt like Act Two's. I like it. I
You're
love
proud.
it.
You're proud of it, man. What are you most bless you, man?
Thank you.
What are you most proud about Act Two, man?
I really love the production, man, from top one to top 20. And a lot of people say like that's too much songs. I'm like, no, it's not, because every time I listen to it, I feel like each song meant something, and I don't hear now. Maybe I sound a little biased as me, but I don't hear any album fillers. I
Uh,
feel like each song can easily be the first single, and that's the
oh,
goal.
I see.
And that's the goal, you know. I just want each song to be easily can be pushed as the first single, and that's my goal. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. No, that's great. You could release 20 singles, huh?
I want to, you know, that's the goal, you know. And I'm not trying to be like sounding cocky or nothing, but it's like as I grow older, man, like I know what I'm capable of, and I know my worth, man. I'm an underground MC. I never got that mainstream success yet, but I feel like the groundwork that I've built and the foundation for me being in the underground, I feel like, how do I say this, man? Like there's no shortcuts to this. If you did take a shortcut, it's gonna show. But
Mhm.
if you
Yeah.
took if you blew up and you took shortcuts, it's gonna show. You blew up. Don't get me wrong. You have millions, and you're famous, but it's gonna show if you took shortcuts.
Hmm. Yeah.
But if you didn't take a shortcut and you really built this brick by brick, step by step, guess what, fool? It's also gonna show.
Yeah. It's gonna
It
be solid.
shows it shows who's seasoned and it shows who's not.
Definitely, man. Definitely, yeah, if you like you say, if you build it brick by brick, you're gonna build a solid foundation, and it's like you said, it's gonna show.
It's
You're
gonna
gonna,
show.
whether or not yeah, you hit it on the head. You summed it up, man. You take shortcuts, it's gonna show.
And
Good or bad,
MCs,
for
man,
better or worse.
to all my MCs out there listening, man, it's good to be confident in yourself when it's time to show it. You know what I'm saying? When it's time to show and prove, when it's time to show and prove, that's when you show and prove, man. You
Yeah.
know? When it's not time to show and prove, just shut the fuck up. But when it is time to show and prove, you gotta deliver.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
You know?
Uh-huh. No doubt, no doubt, Marlon. So what's the most enjoyable part for you, Marlon, as an MC, man? What do you love so much about, rhyming and being an MC in the hip hop game?
I've been doing it. I've been dropping albums nonstop and just doing shows nonstop since I was 21. And I'm 36 now, you know, for damn near 15 years.
Yeah.
So I've been fortunate enough and be privileged to open up for some of the greatest underground legends and even mainstream legends that I was a fan of, man. Like, I got a chance to open up for Guru from Gangstar, bro, before he died.
Oh,
And
wow. When
I
was
got a
this?
chance. My
Let's
first
talk about a little
album,
bit.
2006, when my first album came out, I gave him a copy of my first album. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Wow. How
I
did you meet him?
I opened up for him in Normandy Casino, and he was backstage with a bunch of girls. You know, just we talked, we spoke. I said, "Hey, my name's Marlon D. I opened up for you, Guru. I'm a big fan." And he goes, "Oh, good looking out, good looking out." And then I go, "Yo, my first album just came out. I want to give it to you." "Oh, thank you." He grabbed it, put it in his pocket, and then just a bunch of girls was just around him. So I fell back, you know, like I did my piece, dapped him up, and I fell back, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Normandy Casino down in Gardena, right?
Yeah, man. I opened for fucking Guru
Very cool, man.
and
Very
Sean
cool.
Price. I've opened up for Dilated Peoples, Slum
Okay.
Village, Pete Rock. Scarface, Devin the Dude, the Dog Pound. Man, I can go on and on, bro. I can go the Alcoholics, the Visionaries, Brother
Wow.
every man like Keith Murray, Alzai, like just a
Okay.
lot, man. A
Yeah,
lot.
this is
I've
those impressive list, man.
Master Ace, AG from AG and Showbiz. I've opened up for Rapping Forte. I
Yeah.
can keep going. I've opened up for Fat Lip from the Far Side.
Uh-huh.
Um, I opened up for Below Styles of Beyond. Just
Unbelievable, man. That's pretty cool.
thank you, man.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's a great list, man. I think
Bro, I
and
opened up for Scarface.
wow, yeah. Yeah,
Dog, I
he's
opened
big.
up for Scarface, dog.
Yeah.
What?
Talk to us
Scarface?
about that experience. Where was that one at?
It was at La Luz Ultra Lounge in Chula Vista, um, back in maybe 2016, something like that.
Not too long ago then.
Devin the Dude. I opened for Devin the Dude twice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I opened for all members of Dilated Peoples, but not Dilated the group, but all three members as a solo, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Wow, man. Very
so
cool.
yeah, but that's one aspect. And the other aspect I like is like, you know, I just love hip hop and it makes me happy. And I love making music. There's a lot of bullshit in the music industry. I hate that part. But the actual act of recording, performing, and writing music, I love that part. But the business, the bullshit, the shadiness, the cutthroats, people, I don't even want to get into that right now, bro.
No, I hear.
That's a different top. That's a different
D-
episode.
Definitely, yeah. No, no doubt, man. When you get down to the art, the art form part of it, man, and it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, yeah, it really is, man. And hip hop is huge all over the world. I mean, you go to every country. I mean, in every country, man, there's a rapper. There's people are rapping in Eastern Europe. People are rapping in Africa. It's crazy, man.
It's
It's
becoming
crazy.
worldwide. It's worldwide, man.
It really is. The culture is unbelievable, man. From where it's, you know, from where it's come and what it's become now. It's just so yeah, you can't even describe it, man. It's really, but it's awesome to see that. You see someone rapping in, like, for example, in French, right? Or gosh, in in Serbia, there's Serbian rappers. It's super cool, man, to see that stuff, man. I don't
Yeah.
know if you know what I mean. Um, but yeah, hey, man, what are some goals? I mean, what's the next step for you as an MC, man?
So right now, they canceled all the shows for 2020, 2021. So after the album was done, I found time to start my own podcast. My podcast is called AMD Podcast, and of course, it's hip hop commentary. Of course, I'm interviewing rappers, producers, artists, and everybody creative. Anybody creative that's doing their thing consistent, I interview them. But I also reserve the spot for my mental health advocates, those who are working with kids with autism, those in the social work field, mental health field, Reiki healing, psychotherapists, teachers. I'm also interviewing them for the podcast because I feel like America is going through a change and transition, and
Yeah,
it's a different country now, and I feel like if there's any year to tell a story, I feel like this is it. And as far as the music, I got an album coming out with Joey Dixon. Actually, it's an EP. It should be out by springtime of 2021. All beats produced by him, except one joint produced by my homie Willie Guts. And I want to spend 2021 creating, and I'm going to drop one project, which is my album with Joey Dixon called 13th and Broadway. But for 2022, that would be the release of my 11th solo album. But I'm
oh,
spending but I'm spending the whole 2021 making that, so I'm not in the rush. My album barely came out 5 months ago. I'm not in the real rush. I gotta take my time and make it my if It has to top Act Two. If it's not topping Act Two, I'm not putting it out. So I have to top the last album. You know.
Wow, man, you got to ante up now, bro, because that's a tall task. Act two is pretty impressive. So,
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
of course, man. No, of course, and wow, that's quite a task, right? You got your work cut out for you, bro. But hey, man, you set the bar high. You got to set, like you said, you're a perfectionist, and if you weren't trying to better yourself, then what's the point, right?
I think production wise, it's definitely going to be a challenge to and maybe let me rephrase it. Maybe not necessarily top it, but
Mm,
definitely it can't sound the same like Act Two. That's for sure. It has to sound different from Act Two. Um, and concept wise, I think I gotta rap about something different, and it can't be the same shit as Act Two. But in order for me to do that, bro, like I gotta live life a little bit. Gotta live life a little bit. Life has to happen, so I got new things to write and rap about. And yeah, man,
no doubt.
I gotta just live a little bit, bro.
Got to, bro. You're only human, man.
I'm
We're only
gonna
human
get there though.
for sure. We all are, man. Hey, Marlon, man. I'm right now at this time. I'd like to. I know we kind of talked about doing it at the end, but I think I'd like to have you spit some bars, showcase some of those skills right here. If you want to freestyle, if you want to do a little something,
Yo,
the stage is
Mr.
yours.
Officer, you out of order. I could give a fuck about the next Trump supporter. Often coughing, smoke, looking, slumping, awkward, and a beat that is offered this about to get slaughtered. Raucous records, the era from the way we was brought up, caught up in this hip hop shit with slave. These sponsors paid the way for a blazing trail. I hate these sponsors. I still got a message for your sons and daughters. Oh, wait a minute, please stop. The press has dropped the knowledge and cast it. The cops gonna test this. And he's coming back. All you rap contestants better stretch a couple laps, yo. I'm just flexing on the beat like Hot 97 is crazy. Everybody wants to act like fuck you, pay me. The game stays shady. What else is you? I'm just fucking with you because I got nothing to do. I'm an off night setting it off right. Bust the game wide open like exhaust pipes. The man in the myth on the mic and the raw type. Rocking the crowd all black or all white. Against all races, gotta fuck with my kin folks. Deliver every bar like I'm making a sick joke. My whole fucking life's up and down the bin broke. Sleeping on the couch, got paid. The shit's dope. The way you manifested all my dreams, they still hate to give you daps and hugs, but the love is still fake. It's all part of the game. I don't know how to explain it. Some rappers never made it. Pursued other forms of entertainment in the building, grab the mic, and I'm still nice. I survived pain and betrayal. It's real life. I wouldn't change a thing. I just got to rebuild twice. Let me just address the situation I must do. You and I know that the props is just due. I always wonder why human beings are hateful, acting all greedy when they know the plate's full. Mama told me
Oh,
take a trip. Oh, keep going. Keep going.
oh, I'm sorry, man.
No, it's all
Oh
good.
man,
It's all good.
nice. Ah,
Mama told me to take a trip to the corn store. I came back with the 40, maybe 40 more stories in my head. Nowadays, I'm all scatterbrained. The main goal is to make sure a real rap remains. They caught a little fame nowadays to act strange. I used to act the same, man. I was acting lame, but life rearranged and the seasons change and the fake shall perish, but then the real remains. I got this shit did up in my heart. That's the real skill. I gotta grind it out. I don't want to ill will upon any brother on the hustle like me. There's a huge price to pay. I don't hustle for free. We gotta reap what we sow when it's time for us to harvest. Gotta grind it out. Who can push the farthest? Who could think the smartest? Treat it like a chess piece. You can charge it to the game like Chad, please. Never been to Bally's and I never rode jet skis. Gotta hustle with yak. I gotta get cheese. I keep rhyming for the love, for the art form. I took a break, but I rest back the platform.
nice, man.
Just
Wow.
kidding.
Ladies and gentlemen, Marlon D, man. Wow. Nice, nice. That was 100% freestyle, right?
That's some
Wow.
songs off the album.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just wanted to
I know.
promote it. You know,
Nice, man. That's very impressive, brother. I see why I mean, that's 50
but I can bust a
that's 20
freestyle
years.
live on Zoom. What up to Double A? Every time I Zoom on the interview, every time I ridicule, it's like that. MC Marlon D gets lyrical. Yo, check it like a submarine vessel. We fucked up last night. We had to reschedule. Yo, it's all good. We couldn't connect. It's all good though. Double A, much love and respect from OX all the way to SD to LA. I freestyle all the time, all day in the hallway, cause I be rapping always. Matter of fact, do it four ways. Nah,
Yo, Marlon D. What's it? No, I'm just kidding, man.
I just read.
Man, no, that's awesome, bro. Thank you for giving us some of the skills, man. I appreciate that, bro. I want to kind of talk about your podcast a little bit, man. Let's shifting
Yeah.
gears a little bit now. You got into the podcast game when?
My first episode came out in October. I am now on season 2, but all in all, from season 1 to season 2, I've got about 27 episodes out.
You said October?
Yeah, I've got
Oh
about
wow.
27 episodes out. I'm really thankful for everyone that's granted me the interview, and I got a chance to practice my journalism skills and really bring people's stories out. I feel like some people's stories deserve to be heard, man.
Oh, no doubt. I think everybody has a story to tell, Marlon.
Oh yeah, bro.
Everyone has a story to tell. And
You know I
so
gotta get you on. You know I gotta get you on, right?
let me know, man. Just say the word, brother, and I'm there,
All right,
man.
let's build. I'm gonna when we get off. I'm gonna let's talk about it. All right.
yeah, yeah. Oh, of course, man. No, it's I'll be there, man. So what you mentioned it earlier, but what inspired you to start the podcast, man?
So I think like just the pandemic, it was too much time in my hands, and I felt like I gotta use something. I gotta do something productive, man. Like I needed to do something productive besides making music. The album was already done. There's no shows. I shot the video. I felt like in order for me, because besides me starting a podcast, I was fortunate enough to get on other people's podcasts as an artist when they interviewed me for the album. So I was doing a lot of that too. So I just think that the Filipino American experience, like the Filipino American perspective, Filipino artists, Filipino business owners, Filipino rappers, I just think like there's not a lot of us, dog. And I can count on one hand how many Filipinos out here doing hip hop. But the podcast is not just about hip hop, and it ain't just about Filipinos. It's about all of us, man. And like I hate to say it's a hip hop podcast because it's not. It's 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 everything, son. And it just happens that it's a rapper hosting it. So of course we're gonna add some flavor to this, But
Right.
but I'm inspired by people. I'm inspired by people's stories, and I'm inspired by consistency. One thing in common that my guests have, they're consistent in something. You know,
No
they
doubt.
they they stayed doing something and didn't stop. That's one thing that they all have in common.
Yeah. Yeah. That's your our podcasts are very similar in concept and theme. We want to bring on individuals who are inspirational, who are motivational, who are gonna influence the audience and to maybe doing something that they've never done. For example, like yourself, man, maybe there's a young teenager who's always wanted to become a rapper, and he or she don't know how to kind of take the initiative, or so that's just an example. But yeah, man, that's great that you're doing that, man. What are some things that you really enjoy about the podcast, man?
I'm really interested about healing. I'm really interested in like healing trauma and going through generational curses and breaking generational trauma and what people got to do to overcome trauma. And I feel like a lot of us never did that. And a lot of us try to numb the pain with drugs, alcohol, sex,
Yeah.
money, fame. But I feel like a lot of us adults, we're still little kids in adults' bodies. And a lot of us never got a chance to really deal with our trauma, and that's why we're fucked up the way we are. And don't take it from me, motherfuckers, I'm fucked up. Look me, i'm I'm interested in trauma because I'm traumatized, bro. Like, so I feel like I'm representing all my peoples to talk about shit that they don't want to talk about, but it's there, you know what I'm saying? And like I'm not the first hip hop artist advocating for mental health, but all I know is that it's becoming more accepted in hip hop to talk about this. And I'm not trying to ride no wave. I'm just saying, like, bro, we're all struggling with something. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like doing the podcast has been therapeutic for me and also therapeutic for the guests. You know what I'm saying?
That is such a great point, Marlon. Such a
You know
great
what I'm
point,
saying?
man. Because yeah, I'm in that. I'm far from perfect, man. I'm pretty fucked up too, right? I'm
Dog,
traumatized and
we're all
this.
fucked up. All of
Yeah,
us.
yeah. We're only human beings, man, and this podcast has served as a source of a form of therapy for myself too, man. Especially last year when I've been podcasting now for 2 years, right? And then 2020
Nice.
hit. Yeah, but point being is,
Congratulations.
thank you, bro. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. It's been great, man. Great journey thus far. And so the point being is that 2020 with the COVID hit, the quarantine, and it was like, wow, a lot. I didn't know what to do with myself, man. And so I kicked into high gear on the podcast. I kicked it into high gear, and just started doing episodes every week, once a week, just dropping episodes. But it was great it was my social outlet, man. It was my source of therapy, if you will. I was having fun, man. And I met so many wonderful people, last year. And but yeah, podcasting, I totally concur, man. I'm right there with you on that, you know. But
What inspired you? What made you start one?
well, my story, long story short, I've always loved to perform. I've always loved to be in front of the camera. I've done some acting too, which we'll talk about in a little bit. I've always loved acting. I've always loved the behind the scenes on how things get produced. Whether it's a movie, whether it's a music video, whether it's a television show. I was always fascinated with that. Growing up here in Southern California, going to Universal Studios was always a fascinating thing for me, man. Disneyland, and just the whole arts scene, man. The world of entertainment. I've always wanted to be in that world. So that's why I got into acting, and you know, long story short, got didn't pursue it, and maybe about 2 years ago when I got into back back into podcasting, or not back into podcast, when I got into podcasting, I should say. I at that point in time, I was like, well, I need to pursue what I want to pursue, because I'm not getting any younger, and something inside of me wanted to just give it another shot. Give
Good.
it another shot, and I went. And what's the easiest way? What's the most accessible way to kind of get back into that world? For me, it was podcasting. Because I literally did the podcast on my phone. Through Anchor,
Me too.
and
That's what I'm doing.
yeah, yeah. If it was free, and so I said, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. I started a podcast called 90s Galore, which
Nice.
yeah. So it was just focusing on the episodes are still up on Apple Podcasts and all that, and on the platforms. And
Good
yeah,
job, bro.
just yeah, thanks, man. We just focused on 90s bands, musicians, movies, everything 90s, man. So that's how I got into it, man. And it's been fun, man. January of 2019 was my first podcast. So like I said, man, just a little over 2 years now. And but here we are, man, and having a great conversation with Marlon D out of Oxnard, California, man. And speaking of Oxnard, Marlon,
Yeah.
you I'm in the 805. I live in the 805 now. I grew up in the IE, the
Nice.
909. So now I've lived in the 805 now for 6 years.
Yeah.
You know, talk to us a little bit about Oxnard, man. How was it like? How was it growing up there, man, for you? What was the experience? Was it hard for you? And I know there's a small pocket of Filipinos over there, man. And I work in Oxnard too myself. Now, what a coincidence!
You do?
Yeah, yeah, and I work there, and I have some Filipino friends out there, man. And but
Yeah.
tell
What's your
tell us.
name? What's your name? Who's your Filipino friends out there?
Oh
I
man,
might know them. No, fine. Fine. We'll talk about it.
yeah, we'll
Okay.
talk about it off the air, man.
Okay. So
But tell us about your story, man. I mean, what was it like over? Because there's a predominant Latino population there, man. So
yeah.
what was it like for you?
So I came in the U.S. 1995 from the Philippines straight to the Ox. So I felt like looking back in the mid 90s, late 90s, even early 2000s, bro. Like I grew up with Hispanics and Mexican. I grew up with Hispanics and Filipinos, and
Mm-hmm.
the gang culture was definitely popping in Oxnard. The gang culture was pretty. And I'm not saying that I was a part of the gang culture, but people from the hood that I grew up with is back then. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Let me take my cough drop. So like the gang culture was prevalent, but I think in a small city where there was a lot of Hispanics and Filipinos, and back in the days, I felt like maybe people got into hip hop. There's a lot of talent coming from Oxnard, okay? Like
Yes.
shouts to Stone's Throw Records, everything that they did and everything that the generation after them did, like which was us. Like there's the Stone's Throw generation and the younger ones who was me and it was a lot of us. I can't name everyone. There's a lot of us from Oxnard. So from that generation to probably the most known Oxnard artist, Anderson Paak. So um, a lot of talent came from the city, and I think it's because it can be a boring city, but you got to make the most of it. Like it wasn't boring for me. It wasn't boring for me. My homies growing up, we had fun, you know what I'm saying? But in a small city, I can see how people would be bored. I can see how it's not LA. It ain't LA. It's not San Diego. It's Oxnard. It's a whole different thing. And
Yeah.
small, tight knit community. But there's a lot of beauty in that. But there's pros and cons, bro, in every hood. There's pros and cons in every hood. So
No doubt.
it's a tight knit community, and that it has its pros and cons, bro.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt, man. Which area did you grow up in, man? Which section of Oxnard?
Not too far from Channel Islands High School, South. You know what I'm saying? South Oxnard. My family's still out there, so
Okay.
yeah, dude.
How often you come back up?
I haven't been coming home as much lately, but I used to go a lot, man. Like
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
a lot. Like,
Did you go to
and
CI?
I did. I did.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Who you know from CI?
I we'll talk off the air, man. We'll
All
talk off
right,
the
we'll
air.
talk off there. We'll talk.
Yeah.
You're that. Hey, that makes you a real. That's when you know someone's a real G. Hey, dog. We'll talk off the air. All right, I got you. Hey, I
Yeah.
feel you. I feel you.
No, I love Oxnard, man. It's a great, lots of great food out there, man. You got Wainimi, you got the beaches are right there, man. It's a cool, it's an interesting town, man. I had never really been to Oxnard before I started working there, 6 years ago, and I've since made a lot of friends, a lot of, built up a little network out there, and
Good for
uh,
you.
but yeah, it's a cool, yeah. There's I got my Filipino homies out there, my Filipino friends, and I was in the Navy, Marlon, so
Oh,
you know,
okay.
yeah, and then even in the Navy, man, I had my Filipino friends, and I know the culture really well, man. I know the Filipino culture
Ah,
really well. My brother married a Filipina, and I love her family, and I got a really good friend who's Filipino, so um
you know what's up, dog.
yeah, yeah. Oh man, I love the culture, man. Beautiful
Thank
culture,
you.
and
And I love the
abs-
Hispanic culture too, like growing up in the Ox, Hispanics influence Filipinos, Filipinos influence Hispanics. We
no
grew up
doubt.
together. We grew up next to each other, man.
Yeah,
So every time my Hispanic brothers get ostracized or my Hispanic brothers they get treated bad by this fucking president. Every time that Hispanics was like outcasted by the stupid like I felt like every time that was happening, I felt like Filipinos were not too far off. Like maybe he'll start dissing us next. Like I felt like, I got my Hispanic brothers back, man. Fuck that. We're all minorities, bro. We're the same. We're the
no doubt.
same in so many ways, fam.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The
We're the
cultures
same
have a lot of
people.
parallels. Yeah.
Yeah, we're the same people, man. Fuck that.
We love to eat, love to party. You know,
Love to drink,
love to have fun. Yeah,
love to
yeah.
talk shit.
Dance, and we don't love karaoke as much as you guys, but you know, oh man, but it's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. So in going back to your podcast, Marlon, I really enjoyed Charles Collier.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, you got that one.
that episode,
Oh
yeah,
man. Yeah,
Emmy
dude. Check it out. He was a
Emmy
break
nominated.
dancer.
What's that?
He started out as a break dancer.
Yeah, exactly. B boy turned Emmy nominated visual effects artist, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Shouts to
Yeah,
Charles, man.
Great, yeah, great episode, man. Great episode, yeah. And
Thank you.
absolutely, no, man. And what? So, how often do you record an episode, man, on your podcast?
I'm gonna be honest with you, dog. I got the next 25 episodes already recorded and edited. I've just been putting it out 2 or 3 times a week. So I'm pretty much ahead of schedule. I got
That's
like
great.
25 ready, good to go. And I'm still recording, but you know, I'm still recording, but I got 25 ready to go. Like, so that's probably gonna make up season two. And then whatever I'm recording now, it's actually gonna be season three. So just a little bit ahead of time, but I like it that way. So we're not procrastinating.
No doubt, no doubt. And so you pretty much batched up your episodes, right?
Yeah, just been recording on the phone. Sometimes I drive there in person. Sometimes I drive there in person because certain episodes, like, how do I say this? Like I don't, sometimes it's just easy to be in person.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt, man.
So,
So what? So how long did it take you to record those 25 episodes that you've already done?
so everything that's coming out in season two was already recorded back in like November,
Re-
October, November. Everything coming out now was back then. And
Wow, that's right, man. You started in October, so you did 25 episodes in 3 months, pretty much. I mean,
I got about 27 episodes in 3 months and 25
gosh,
more and 25 more unreleased. I just booked a lot of interviews. People were more than willing to like give me their story. And I want to say thank you to every single guest that's donated their time, their stories, and being vulnerable. What I love about the episodes is that they got vulnerable and they got real and they opened up. And I was really humbled because, dog, that's not easy.
no,
It's not easy telling your story out there for everybody else to hear and see. So, like, I want to thank you to every single guest that helped build season one and every single guest that's building season two. And it's a team effort. Like, and I'm sure, bro, that you're grateful for every time you get a guest to come on too.
oh man, are you kidding me, Marlon? I
You
am
know,
super. Yeah, I can't describe that in words.
because they are the 50% of the show. The other 50% is you.
No
you
doubt,
know
man.
and I'm sure it's 100% you, but it wouldn't be a show without the guests. um but me being on the other side, me starting a podcast, I know how it is to be on the other side of the fence, being the interviewer. And I get in there, dog. I try to ask for people's childhood and dynamics, family dynamics. I take it back to day one. I take it back to day one. Where you from? What's your family like? How was that like? like,
Bless you.
thank you. Like, I take it back to family dynamics because I
Yeah,
think it dictates who you become too, bro.
that's a great point. That's a great point. I like that, man. I like that. That's you go back to the formative years.
Mm-hmm.
Go
Always, all of them, all the guests. I take it back to that.
very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I like that. I like that, man. That's a
And I'm,
that's a
mhm.
critical part of in someone's life.
And I'm surprised, man. Everybody was willing to share. Nobody was saying off limits. Everybody was willing to share, bro. Even the not so pretty parts, of their childhood. And that I was touched. I was really touched, man. Means a lot to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great, man. I like that, Marlon. I like that. That's like I said, man, that your family years, your formative years, your youth plays such a crucial role in the person you become, right? The adults that you
It's
become now.
it's the most important like time, I think. The formative
Oh,
years, bro. And
exactly, man.
mental health, just tracing back our roots, like starting to connect the dots from the past and the present. It's a game changer. You know what I'm
Ah,
saying? It's a
it
game
really is.
changer when you start connecting the past to your present. You know And that's when healing starts, man. When you start accepting that, like,
A lot of self-reflection and all that stuff. And
because we don't want to pass that on to our children, like, just because you're hurt and you're in pain, don't fucking pass that on to your kids and take it out on them, dog. It's not their fault. It's not their fault you're fucked up still. Like, you got to work on that. I got to work on that. Like,
yeah,
I,
yeah,
I don't want to
exactly.
be. I don't want to be a bad father. I want to be a good dad.
No, it's a great point. Great point, man. Because yeah, as a father myself, there's things that I want to impart to my children, and avoid things that I, certain things that were, we're all trying to improve upon ourselves, right? There's things my parents love me dearly. I know that, and they weren't perfect. I'm not perfect as a father, as a parent, as a father, but we just do our best, man. That's what we can do. We do our best, and that's all we can do. But yeah, I like that, man. I can't wait to listen to more of your podcast, man, and really get um, in tune with a lot of those episodes, man, that you're doing, that you've done, and so you already have a total of 50 episodes. You said you haven't released 25, or no?
Yeah.
Is that what it comes down to?
So I got about 27 episodes out on Spotify and all streaming services now. But like after that, the next 25 episodes for season 2, it's not released yet, but it's already recorded and edited. Like, I've just been kind of pacing it out, just putting out 2 episodes a week, maybe 3 episodes, 2 episodes a week sometimes.
Wow.
I got someone designing the graphic design for me. So as soon as he's done with the flyer, we
Hmm.
just put it out. And the way I see it is that I'm just trying to put out content, but I'm not in the rut. It's not a race for me. It's just I'm just a workaholic, dog. But I'm not trying to race with nobody. I'm just worried about me. I'm not
Yeah.
worried about nobody else, dog. I'm just worried about me and what I'm doing, and just trying to be a better person, bro. I'm just trying to get better, man. I'm not perfect either.
Of course, man. And there's you can't worry about things you have no control over, right?
We got enough to worry about throughout the day, bro.
Exactly. Exactly, man. I want to kind of get into your acting stuff, Marlon. What of you mentioned it earlier, and
Yeah.
how's that coming along, man? Are you still actively pursuing the art, or where are you at in the process with acting?
So I was doing theater straight from 2018 to 2019. Um, but before that, even in high school, I was doing theater. Even in college, I did theater. Um, but so as far as theater is concerned, I was doing theater in community afters theater in San Diego. And I did about maybe 9, 10, maybe 8, 9 different plays within the past year and a half. And out of those 9 plays, maybe I landed like 4 or 5 lead roles. And when we were about to do my 10th play, the pandemic started and the whole thing got canceled. So we're still hoping that someday it'll open back up again and we're going to resume the play that I was on. Now, as far as film, I got a film out on Amazon Prime called The Year I Did Nothing, directed by Anna Barreto. And the movie really got out there as far as like indie film festivals all across the US. It got out there in the Philippines, Guam, uh, Philippine CNN, PBS Guam played it. And we had premieres all over the East Coast, New York, Seattle, um, uh, you know, North Carolina. And as far as pursuing it in 2021, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't been auditioning for theater because there ain't none. Um, as far as film, to be honest with you, I'm not pursuing auditioning on film, but me and the homies have been more busy writing screenplays.
Is that right?
Yeah, the homies are just trying to write screenplays. We're writing screenplays right now, trying to finish something, and yeah, I mean, I still want to act. I still want to act, but I think my friends are getting into writing that's inspiring me to act in it. Like,
Wow.
so that's what we're trying to do right now. So more on the screenplay writing tip.
Wow, that's great, man. That's great. Yeah, acting is so fun, man. I want to get back into acting. I would love to
You
get back
got
into
to.
acting, man. You
You
know,
got to.
at some point, yeah, and that's what I'm hoping, man. Just to parlay this into bigger things, and be able to kind of branch out. And
Yeah.
but good for you, man. That's great. That's great. What was the name of that film that was on Amazon?
The
You
year I
mentioned.
did nothing. Yeah, The Year I Did Nothing, directed by Anna Barretto, now available on Amazon Prime. And the DVDs can be ordered on Amazon.com. And it's also on Vimeo.com. Um, it's a story about a Filipino family in the Philippines that's coming to America, and it shows the process on how people from the Philippines gets legalized to come to the U.S. and how they file for petition and how can they get to the country, especially back in the 70s and the 80s. So the story was set in the 80s, and I had about maybe 5 to 7 lines in Tagalog. It wasn't even like the Philippine. It wasn't even the English language. My lines was in Tagalog,
Very
So
cool, man.
I got a chance to speak my native language, and it was a good experience, man. But I really love theater, and people ask me all the time, "What is it about theater that you love?" And I
Hmm.
said, "It's similar to rapping. Like acting live is no different from rapping live." And I feel like I think I'm comfortable. And by the way, dude, I know you see me kind of outgoing right now. I'm really a shy, introverted person, and people don't believe me. People say, "The fuck you mean you're shy? You're a rapper and you act." But nah, dog, I'm shy. But for some reason, I think performing on stage, even if it's acting, there's something comfortable in it for me. Like
Mm.
it's what I've been doing all my life since I've been rapping on stage since I was 15, man. And like rapping for so many years. I know this sounds like a cliche, but rapping for so many years prepared me to act. Because I think to be a rapper, it requires a certain amount of acting. It requires a
Mm.
certain
Mm.
amount of, you have to act on stage when you're rapping, dog. Like,
Yeah, you're telling
you know?
you're storytelling, right?
Yeah. And I think acting live, it's therapeutic, it's fun. You know how it is.
Yeah. No, it's wow.
It's
Uh,
fun. It's fun. It's challenging. It's outside my comfort zone, but I really enjoyed it, dog. And I'm just waiting for this COVID shit to end. I swear to God, we're gonna get back into it, fam.
oh yeah, yeah. I can't wait, man. I
I
can't
can't
wait.
wait. I can't wait, bro.
Mm, no doubt, man. No, that's great, man. That's great, Marlon. You know, before we start winding things down here because we're coming up on time, I want to ask you, man, before I forget. I don't want to forget. There's some questions I have for you, man. So if going back to being a hip hop artist, an MC, if what would you tell? What advice would you give to a young, aspiring hip hop artist, MC that wants to get into the game? What would you tell that person?
Study the history, respect the culture, respect the past, respect the present. Always be a fan, be a dedicated fan, because if you don't love this music, you're not gonna last becoming an artist. Fall in love with the music, stay in love making music, and that should be your number one goal. The business, that's gonna come, but don't be in a rush to get in the music business. Oh, trust me, it's gonna come. The music business will come to you. Okay, don't come to it. Develop your own hype, develop your own buzz, get hot, stay hot. That shit will come to you. So,
Wow,
um,
I've heard that
if you,
before, man.
you know what I'm
So
saying,
the business will come to you.
it's gonna come to you. Don't be in a rush. Um, if you're in this to make money, like a quick money scheme, you're not gonna last. You may get the money. You may actually get the quick money scheme too, but you're not gonna last as an artist. You're gonna get the money though, but to be a lasting artist that's gonna keep making albums, you're not. So, um, I want you to think: Are you? Why are you getting in this? Just ask yourself that first. But uh, stick to your guns and do do what feels right and do what makes you happy. You know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
chasing money makes you happy, then do that. But if making music makes you happy just because it makes you happy, then do that, you know?
No doubt, man. No doubt. There you go, man. There you go. It's and kind of leading into my next question, can you kind of talk about some of those challenges and failures that you've experienced in your in your life as an artist, as an MC?
People are gonna try to fuck you over. People are gonna try to underpay you, undercut you. People are gonna try to disrespect. People will try to extort you. People will try to screw you. And anything shady you can think of, you're gonna experience it in the music business. All right. So prepare. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. You can't dodge it. You can't avoid it. I'm 36. Been there, done that. I paid my dues in my 20s, not just making music, but I've had my share of being fucked over. That's what makes me an OG and a vet, not because of my age, but because of my experience. Now, any 22-year-old out there listening, 21, 22-year-old listening to me like I'm an old uncle, like you're probably thinking, what the fuck does he know? He's an old guy. I know. I know you're looking at me like, what the fuck do I know? Because I'm an old guy. But that's the thing. I am an old guy. That's why I do know.
Mm,
So like
exactly.
I was 21, 22, cocky, stubborn once. They're gonna go through their phase, double A. They're all gonna be cocky. They're in their 20s, of course.
Right.
They're gonna be stubborn. They haven't been humbled yet. But it's another thing to pursue this in your 30s.
Mm, yeah.
It's one thing to pursue it in your 20s. That's cool. That's cute. That's cute. It's kind of cute. But it's one thing to pursue it in your 30s, dog.
Wow. Yeah. You're seasoned, you're experienced, um yeah, that's a lot of experience you got, man,
It's two
under your
different
belt.
things. We're grown. We're a little grown, and
Yeah.
we've already been fucked over. So we already know. So now that we do know, what do you do now? Now that you do know, you know,
Yeah. Yeah,
that's
man.
the game that we're on right now. Now I know. I'm just kidding.
What are some of the misconceptions about the MCs that you'd like to kind of debunk right now, that you
Yeah.
want to kind of clarify that aren't true?
About rappers?
Yes.
What is it about rappers that are true or that are not true?
Yeah, like what are some misconceptions, some myths about
I
rappers?
I think people think all we rap about is drugs, violence, and sex, which is not true. 90% of us do rap about that, but the other 10% doesn't. So that's one. And number two, um, they think that the music business is easy. It's not. And this is not for the weak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're gonna face a lot of rejection. You're gonna face a lot of disappointment. You're gonna face a lot. And the only thing that's gonna keep you in this is your love for the music. And that's it.
Mm, bottom line, it's
That's it.
it, you
If you don't
know,
love making music, you're not gonna last. Like you have to love making music. You
no
have
doubt,
to.
no doubt, man. Um, what do you love about being in the studio, man?
To create, just to experiment, just to release, just to express, just to see the song from beginning to end come
Yeah.
into fruition, from writing it to performing it, from writing it to recording it to performing it. It's all three different things, you know. To be a well-rounded artist, it's one thing to write the rhyme, and it's one thing to record it and execute it in recording it. And it's a whole other thing to perform that. So to all the MCs coming up out there, guess what? You got to work in all three. You got to work in your songwriting skills, you
Yeah.
got to work in your recording skills, and you got to work in your stage show.
Mm.
And that's the work. That's the work. You got to do the work. You got to do it. Don't
Can't cheat the
expect to.
process.
You cannot. It's gonna show.
Yep. Yeah, we talked about it earlier, man. Yeah, that's it's a grind, man. I give a hip hop artist a lot of credit, man, a lot of respect, because like you said, it's not easy, man. It's not easy, and you got to be, as you just spoke to, yeah, you got to be performer, you got to be a businessman, you got to be, there's all these different components, all these different elements that go into it.
That too, you got to be a
Eh,
businessman, you
right.
know, which has nothing to do with writing rhymes, but
Exactly.
unfortunately, it's a part of it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, Marlon, who would you have dinner with, man? Who are three people you would love to have dinner with, either dead or alive? It could be anybody, bro. Anybody. Who would you love to? Three people, if you can narrow it down to three.
Of course, Tupac, to keep one thing dead. If one dead, Tupac. One that's alive, it's a tie between Nas or Eminem. You
Mm.
know, I want to pick their brain. I want to pick their brain and how lyrical they got. The third one, um, I'm gonna be honest. I oh, on the acting tip, I would like to chop it up with Al Pacino, man. You know,
That's a great list, man.
just 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 to learn from the icon, just to learn from the greats. You know, like I'm studying the greats all the time, and they're still the greatest, bro. Like they're still the greatest. Like true legendary MCs never fall off, man. So
Man, I love Nas, man. That his first album alone is just incredible. Illmatic.
dog,
It's
you
just
gotta
a classic,
have you heard
classic.
have you heard the last one? Have you heard his last album, King's Disease?
No, I haven't.
Bro, when you hang up on me, you gotta peep that.
When did he release that one?
Maybe a couple months ago.
Oh, it's that okay. Just this year, 2020 came out.
Yes, it's called King's Disease. Yeah, yo,
Oh, I haven't heard.
when you hear that shit, he still sounds dope. He still sounds young. He sounds like he took care of his voice. He sounds like he took care of his voice. He still sounds the same from Illmatic. Like Nas'
Wow,
voice don't change, bro.
it's incredible, bro.
Like his style, the wittiness, the lyricism, it's still there. He's still sharp more than ever. And we gotta admit, he's getting older too, man.
I
If
mean,
if if we're getting older, dog, he's getting older, but he sounds dope more than ever. And he sounds better than Jay. Like his last album sounds better than not the sounds better than Jay-Z and Eminem's last album, I think.
gosh, incredible, man.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
What's your favorite Al Pacino movie?
man, it's a
I love
tie
that guy.
between it's a tie between Carlitos Way. It's a tie between Carlitos Way and A Scent of a Woman.
Oh my
A Scent of a Woman to me is like that motherfucker's crazy, dog.
unreal, bro.
But Carlitos Way is probably top three in mafia movies. Like I would say Godfather 2 is number one. Number two would be Goodfellas, and number three is Carlitos Way.
Carlitos win. Wow.
That
Yeah.
shit gets to you like fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember watching that as a in 1993 as a 17-year-old kid, man, and gosh, just being just blown away, man.
It explores how us, man, we can be stubborn.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
we don't listen to our gut, and look what happens. Like
Mm,
sometimes men are stubborn, like we're
yeah.
stubborn. And Carlitos Way shows that on how stubborn we can be, and it's the cause of your downfall. You didn't want to listen to your lady. Your lady told you to stop fucking with him. You didn't listen.
Mm,
You know, your stubborn ass did what you want to do. Look what happened.
yeah. I know, man. There's so many themes, prevalent in that movie, and we could talk about, man. But yeah, he's probably my I would say my favorite actor, man. And so I love Son of a Woman. I was just talking about that yesterday on an interview I did on a podcast. But yeah, man. Hey, Marlon, man, I want to thank you so much for joining us here on Profile Pod TV on the Social Nostra network, man. Before we go, man, where can the good people follow you on your social media? Where can they connect with you?
Yo, on Instagram, follow me at MDLens. That's at MDLENS. And for Facebook, you can add me on Marlon D Facebook page. And I also have a personal one, Marlon Dido. And then for Twitter at MC Marlon D. And for my catalog of mixtapes and albums from 2005 to 2021, it's mcmarlond.bandcamp.com. My album Act 2 and my whole catalog since 2005 is now available on all digital stores, Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify. And my podcast is also on Spotify, AMD Podcast. And my movie, The Year I Did Nothing, is on Amazon Prime. And thank you, man, so much for having me. You're the shit.
Oh, man.
We're going to keep building, dog. I got to get you on the show.
You let me know, brother. You let me know. Thank you for taking the time, man, for being here with us, man. And ladies and gentlemen, there you have Marlon D. As he just mentioned, there's many places to find him at because he's so busy, so artistic, and he's all over the place. So check him out. Check out his album. Check out his movie. Check out his podcast. But yeah, once again, thank you, Marlon, for being here with us, man. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, Marlon D. Don't forget to subscribe to Profile Pod TV on YouTube.
Pod TV.
That's right, on YouTube. Check out Social Nostra. Subscribe to Social Nostra on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts. We're on Pandora. We're on Spotify. All the major platforms. Follow me on Instagram at ProfilePodTV _ Twitter at ProfilePod. Clubhouse at ProfilePodTV. So there's you can find me anywhere. Connect if you like I said, if you want to be on the show, if you're an aspiring guest, hit me up in the DMs and we'll make something happen. But you got to bring your A game, just like my man Marlon D just did tonight. So once again, man, I want to thank everyone for being here. YouTube, if you're listening on the audio, I want to thank my man Marlon D, and I want to thank the Social Nostra Network as well, man. So we will be back next week, I think. Yeah, next week. I want everybody to have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Instagram. We'll see you out there. And for Marlon D, I'm Double A signing off this time. And always remember to take it easy.
Much love.
Thank you, Marlon.
Thank you. Peace.
Peace, brother.